Hi, this is Dr. Samita Nandy from the Center for Media and Celebrity Studies. We're just going to wait for a minute for our special guest today. If you are new to CMCS, welcome to CMCS. We're so excited to have you today and have a chat with our special guest. A little bit about the Center for Media and Celebrity Studies. It's an international research network that coordinates academic research and media commentaries on fame. We have over 3,800 members on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, you could always connect with us at celeb_studies. We have 3,800 members that include journalists, writers, researchers, filmmakers, and actors, and anybody who's interested to study celebrity and also role models. We're a huge fan on giving a voice to role models for human rights, animal rights, environmental ethics in celebrity culture. So I'm just gonna wait for my guest here. Today our guest is Swati Chugh from New Delhi, India. And I'm just gonna invite her, and I'm so excited to have our chat with her. So have your questions ready. We're gonna speak to her in a second. So let me see if I could invite Swati. I'm getting a lot of waves. Thank you so much for joining us, Wendy, collaborators. Just hang in for a minute. Okay. T.
Hi,
Hi.
Samita.
Oh, this is so exciting. I was just mentioning you to everybody. Swati, you're from New Delhi. It's 9:30 where you are, and
Yeah, that's
yeah, and it's just after 9 o'clock in Los Angeles, just after 12 o'clock in New York. It's 5 o'clock where I
good.
am in Lisbon, and 9:30 where you are. We have a lot of hearts going on already. Oh my gosh, so happy to have you. Welcome, Swati.
Thank you, Samita. It's so good to be here. I hope my voice is audible. You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you. I hope everybody can hear as well. And just a huge welcome to anybody who's new on this channel. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for joining us. So I'll let Swati introduce herself. Swati, can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah. First of all, it's really glad. I'm really happy to be here. I feel glad that with Samita you reached out. We had a nice chat, and then you finally decided that let's do this live session. I'm an independent filmmaker, and I have been making short films for past 5 years, and I have studied also filmmaking, though I did short-term courses, not really a degree course or something. So I just did some short-term courses for filmmaking. One from Delhi, India, that's Barry John Acting Studio, and then I went on to study filmmaking from New York Film Academy, Los Angeles, and that is how I have been. Though when I went for the courses, I was already kind of experimenting, kind of making videos, short films, and I wanted to explore further. I wanted to formally study, and that is why I went for these courses. And apart from these, also, there's a lot of learning that still happens. We keep learning every day. I still keep doing a lot of online courses. So through then overall, in the past few years, I've made 14 short films, and several of these films have won a lot of awards. 28 awards. The last one was till last week. So 28 awards and 90 plus nominations in film festivals across 22 countries. So that's the journey so far. and it's still going on, and I still feel it's just the beginning for me, and I have a long way to go, and I'm gearing up to make my first feature film pretty soon. Hopefully in 2021, if not, definitely in the earliest part of 2022. So yeah, that
I
is what I'm
hope
planning.
I hope you're gonna have more feature films. This is not gonna be the first and last one.
Definitely not. As I said,
Oh my gosh,
just beginning,
you have so
and I
many
still have a long
projects
way to go.
going on. It's like fireworks, Wow, that's very interesting. And so, one of the questions, I have a lot of questions, but one main question that I have for you is, what's the significance of independent filmmaking on an international platform? You're very international while you hire local actors, which is such a wonderful thing you do. But yeah, what's the significance of independent filmmaking on an international platform?
I think independent filmmaking is the way to go for anyone who just wants to make a film without coming from a film background, without their families being in film background. If you look at me, and I don't, nobody from my distant or even far away family, nobody is from the film industry. So I was one of those, academically good kids, very studious, and
Like me?
that,
I'll be good forever, I guess.
yeah, you having a doctorate, it's like, I was so happy that there's somebody you can talk to with such good educational background. So that is what, just like any middle class family, studied. I did my MBA. In fact, I've been working in the corporate sector for past 14 years. I still have my corporate job. So that is what I've been doing, and so that is where independent filmmaking comes as a boon for people like us. you know uh, you just need to get a few people together and you can make a film on your own. That is what independent filmmaking gives you the confidence to do. And as far as the scope goes in the international circuit, independent films are the future. That's what I feel, especially during the pandemic times, right? When a lot of studios had to shut down operations because there were a lot of costs, and there were a lot of I would say uh, people you need a lot of people to be there, and you have to take extra precautions, and studios really can't afford to work on low budgets because of the overhead costs they have. Independent filmmakers kept working throughout the pandemic. you know they had this advantage that they work with lower budgets, and they work with limited crews, and in film festivals across the world, uh, independent films have shown their mark. Even this year, if you see the Oscars, right, Nomadland and The Father, these were all started off as independent films. Then they got studio backing later, but you know, it's a great future, and the best part is you get to make what you want to make,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So
Even
that is
as
what,
a
yeah.
trained actor now, I find learning filmmaking is a huge, huge asset because for me, I get to understand the creative process, my own artistic approach, what kind of narrative style I would like. Of course, I'm open to different characters myself and giving a life to that character and, bringing the truth in imaginary circumstances, but what kind of angle, what kind of light is important to make that possible, because when you're telling a story, it's not just the acting, right? I mean, it's even the costume and everything, even the context. So understanding that is extremely important, and I found so many um, viewers or writers in the past who would make comments, and I think that's acceptable, to make certain comments, but they don't have the understanding of what it really takes, how hard it is to make even like an independent film, even a short film. And unless you do short films and independent feature films, I mean, you won't really know how to pull off the rest. And it's a sustainable way to go to tell visual stories. I really appreciate what you're doing, and also as a former journalist, I find the capacity to see the commonalities among the differences that we have. And I think that's the aim of every journalist, every storyteller, whether it's a novelist, whether it's a scriptwriter, to show those commonalities. And you show those humanities, I guess, if I may say that. Pick
Absolutely. In
local
fact,
stories. Is that true?
absolutely, Samita, I'm really, impressed with what you're doing as an actor. I saw your short film, right? And it was, I keep telling a lot of actors that don't keep waiting for, getting a chance. Create chances yourself. The way you got together with a few of your friends and got these short films made. So I think every actor should do that, especially when you're trying to own your craft. That really helps you get to understand every aspect of filmmaking. When you try to make even a short film, teaches you so much.
Yes,
Just
yes.
get together and create something. Don't just wait around
Absolutely.
for
Call
getting a
them my
chance.
friends. I hope they're watching, and they're going to be my friends. We're quite professional from the beginning. um, but yeah, I mean, a lot of it started just personally. It started with my own feminist filmmaking, and of course with my life partner. I started quite a bit, and yeah, within a year, I mean, I pulled off a number of shorts. So thank you for mentioning that. Those who are new here and are listening to our talks, just a little bit about myself. I'm a celebrity studies scholar who's also an actor and a feminist filmmaker. And as a celebrity studies scholar and actor, it's nice to combine the both. I now give a voice to diverse artists in celebrity culture within and beyond Hollywood. So, doing the live talks is something significant that we do. We also publish a lot. We have a lot of media commentaries on fame, and it's just a wonderful way to voice a lot of social causes that we believe in. Now, Swati, what would be your advice or suggestion for those who are interested to learn more about filmmaking or acting? What would you say?
As I said, right, making something is the best way to learn. You can have have all the degrees of the world, and you can learn from the best film schools. But unless you do things yourself, you wouldn't really know what is it that you want to make. How exactly do you own your craft, and what is your voice? It is very important as an artist, be it an actor, be it a filmmaker, it is very important to find out your voice. And that is something you will get to know and you'll get to explore only when you do a lot of work. And
Yes,
that is just, so just pick up that camera, even pick up your mobile phone, and just go and start shooting if you want to be a filmmaker. It's just from that state, it is just a matter of increasing your scale, increasing your resources, increasing your budget. But the moment you pick up a camera, and even if you don't want to pick up yourself, you can get a friend of yours who's good at camera, just take them along, tug them, and start shooting, and just get that footage together, join it, and voila, you have your first film. It's as simple as that. Don't
Yes.
make it too complicated. And with every project you do, you keep getting better and better and better. And of course, there are a lot of rules, and there are certain filmmaking parlance, in the filmmaking parlance you would say, uh, you know uh, shot size, and camera angles, and all these things are there are a lot of technicalities, and but unless you start doing, you wouldn't understand these things, and once you start doing, then you'll automatically try to learn more. So there are a lot of courses, be it online or be it from the best film schools. There are a lot of film schools across the world, um, and I wouldn't say this is better or that is better. It all depends on what you want to study and how do you want to go about your career. So you can study filmmaking, but if you don't want to study formal, film education, still there are a lot of online courses or online even YouTube videos, right, to learn. So there's no dearth for learning as such. You can just go ahead, but it's very important to put to practice whatever you learn. Unless you put to practice, it wouldn't get ingrained. So
Yeah.
just put to practice and keep getting better. That's it.
Yeah, and not wait for perfection because that's just the standard that we learn from external sources. It's really what we want to learn and where we want to go, and it's just such a huge gift to be able to do that. Now, how was your experience in Los Angeles? You were with the New York Film Academy. You were in Los Angeles. How long were you there, and how was the experience shooting in Hollywood?
Oh, it was wonderful. That was kind of a lifelong dream. I wanted to go there. Everybody has that Hollywood glamour, right? And that is why, even with New York Film Academy, I deliberately picked up the LA campus. I wanted to go there because I wanted to get that entire Hollywood feel. So it was wonderful, and though it was a short-term course, I was there just for a couple of months, but I learned a lot even within that time. It was a very intensive course, and the faculty and everything, the campus, and you know whatever projects we used to do, and it teaches you a lot.
Yes, it does.
And we got to shoot at Universal Studios in Hollywood, and attend lectures and stuff at Warner Brothers. It's just next to Warner Brothers, the New York Film Academy campus. So it's an entire field. In fact, the cafeteria that we used to go to, it was Warner Brothers, because that was the full-fledged cafeteria, and New York Film Academy used to share with Warner Brothers. So that just the feeling of being in that place was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I have been to LA a couple of times, and I did notice as a celebrity studies scholar, I just noticed all the signs of stardom, and I mean you can't get away from that, and it has to do with all the visual symbols. I'm sure you noticed that too. Just very briefly, what would be your take on celebrity culture in Los Angeles? Something that you can't get away from. It's everywhere.
Oh, I think it's up to the individual how you take it. The
Yeah.
celebrity culture is definitely there. It kind of rubs onto you, and you know, it depends on people. Some people feel insecure. Some people just want to run after that glamour, and in that process kind of lose their identity. That One thing I would just suggest is, whatever you do and or wherever you are, never lose your identity. Celebrity culture tends to do that to you. So
Yes, yes. Even in Bollywood, and I think you touch on a very, very important point. And that is really to be authentic, know your values, what you're contributing, what kind of voice you're giving, and why you're doing filmmaking in the first place. And that'll keep the whole journey very strong and sustainable, because this is a very hard path to go on. So
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, and some of the, challenges are, not having enough support, or like any art, like you start out of scratch, you create something out of nothing, but that's the whole goal of art, is to show the unseen, to tell the truth, and to reflect life. I'm a firm believer of arts being a reflection of life. So as long as we craft our life, we design our life in a way that reflects into the arts, we're able to give a necessary voice that is required within and beyond celebrity culture. And like I said at the very beginning, I'm a huge fan of giving voice to role models for, different social issues. And you're one of the role models, and that's why,
Absolutely. In fact, you've touched on a very important point, right? If you want to get into that industry, don't into it because you are influenced by the celebrity culture. It has to come from within you. It has to be something you're passionate about. But because please understand, it is a very difficult line at the end of the day, right? It has its own set of challenges, and you need to be really patient, and you have to be in it for the long haul. And you can do that only when you're really passionate about something. If you're passionate about acting, please do it, but don't become an actor only because of the glamour part, right? Because at one point of the time, glamour wears off. What remains with you is your talent and your passion. Even if you're less talented, as they say, it's okay. But are you really passionate about it? Right? That is what matters. If you're passionate, you'll develop those skills, you'll develop that talent. But if you're not passionate, it is something which is influenced by, say, peer pressure or the celebrity culture or the glamour overall, you wouldn't sustain for a long time.
no. And also celebrity culture, I mean, something that, all my fellow researchers and writers know, it's a media construction. And the most important thing, again, is to be authentic, and to use the media to give a voice. Now, most people, whether they're viewers or critics, when they watch movies, it's for entertainment, and they may not have access to the kind of, practice-based knowledge that you have. Now, what would be your message to all the fans, followers, critics who watch either, big blockbusters or independent films? What would be your message to them when they start watching a film? What should they look out for?
Uh, I would just say when critics watch a film, don't come with a preconceived baggage about anything. You know,
Yeah,
be it the star power, be it the banners that the films belong to, the production houses that have made them, and it's a similar message to all fans or critics or anybody watching a film. Watch it for the merit of it. Watch it for the story. Watch it for the emotions that
yes,
it
yes.
evokes for the viewer. It doesn't matter whether the actors are big superstars or people who are not that famous as per their criteria. What matters is how good is the story, right? What is it about the story that touches you? If the story is not good, if the script is not good, right? No matter how big the banner is making it, it wouldn't work for you,
Yes, to
right?
find that emotional connection, that bond is really
Absolutely.
important, and to have that empathy. We have a really nice comment here. Let's see who is commenting. It's from Collab Writers.
Ah,
Totally agree.
thanks, Amy.
We each have our individual creative path unique to each of us. That's very powerful. Yes, I totally believe in that. Each one of us, we're unique and we have something to offer. And today we're talking about filmmaking, but the same applies to, writing or doing visual arts. It's the same. And I did write a Stage 32 blog, and I talked about how to be an artist and really and truly how to be creative in your everyday life and how do you make that possible. Because a lot of times, it's such a hard journey, and I do understand the challenges. We think about, finances or time, and I would say, taking baby steps no matter where you are in your journey is so, so important. It's something that, I have to remind myself every single day, to take those baby steps. And also something that Stage 32 would say is celebrate your wins, your small wins. And I'm going to talk about this in one of my vlogs in a month or so. And my account is Samita Nandy Official. So if anybody wants to, check out updates there, they can. Please follow Swati for all her film updates as well. She has so much to contribute and teach, and I think she's such an inspiration to everybody. Something that I recently experienced is that there was no time to even celebrate like a small win or a big win. I had so many tasks completed. I had a couple of publications. I had a media interview on Britney Spears, and I had a film done, the film that you saw, and it was literally one after another. And I was like, forget about the small wins. Like, I don't even have time to celebrate the big ones. So now I'm actually carving out time to celebrate all of that. So hopefully this entire fall is just going to be, celebrating and, having everybody join us. And I love to hear from people, what their thoughts are, how they want to participate. And just so that everybody knows, our network of the Center for Media and Philadelphia Studies, it's a very safe network. It's very inspiring. It's growing. And it's a world-class network. And I'm not saying this just because I'm the director of the organization, but I'm extremely proud of all our members and the world-class contributions that they make. And for me, it's always an honor and pride to be part of it. And today we're having a conversation with Swati, and she's from New Delhi. And I'm actually wearing something exactly from your city, Swati.
Oh, that's wonderful. I was about to say that your dress looks pretty Indian.
Yes, it is from Delhi. Yeah. So, yeah, you're there doing amazing work, giving voice to local actors. What would be your message to actors in Delhi? You sort of said, just start doing, like whether it's film, whether it's acting, whether it's script writing, just start doing. Um, how can they follow all your work and participate in what you do? Do they look out for calls, like casting calls, your updates on social media?
Uh, yeah, you can just follow me on social media as you were talking about celebrating your wins. I make sure I celebrate all my wins and I keep sharing all the screening details of my films because right now they're in film festivals. So the moment they go on some OTT platform, I was holding back because many of the film festivals do want their films not to be online, and that is why I didn't release on OTT. But for a couple of films, the film festival run would get over soon, and then I'll be releasing them. But for till the time that happens, I keep sharing everything on my social media. So I'm there on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm pretty active everywhere. So yeah, just you can just follow me, and even for requirements, I keep sharing any requirements I have. Though right now I'm in writing stage, so I'm not really shooting and not casting immediately. But once I reach that stage, I'll definitely start my casting and everything as well.
Okay,
So yeah,
and
I think a lot of factors from anywhere. So if doesn't matter where you are, I and doesn't matter your start status or something. If you are a good actor, and typically what I do is if anybody reaches out to me, I just ask them to drop me a mail on my email ID, which is there on Instagram, with some work of theirs. So if you've done a short film, or if you have a demo reel, or a show reel, or say any thing you have done work in, that really helps. Rather than just reaching out and asking me to take, if you share some of your work, it'll get easier for me. So you can just drop me a mail, and
okay,
I'll maybe consider that.
okay, that sounds wonderful. And do you plan to do public screenings later on for, like all your followers? How can they participate in your public screenings later on after the festivals are over?
Yeah. Yes, as I said, I'm talking to a few platforms, and as such, public screening, I don't know when that will happen because of we had so many restrictions. In fact, all my film festivals also happened during COVID time, and it was quite a frustrating thing for me that I was not able to physically go, and a lot of film festivals shifted online. So I'm really missed a lot of red carpets, both in India and internationally. Uh, but hopefully, we get to physical screenings soon. For now, I think um, online is where they can look for the films.
Yeah, and well, we're celebrating right now with you, just honoring all your films. Regarding social issue, this is something that I was personally curious about. Would you identify yourself as a feminist or a humanitarian, or if you love the environment, the climate? Is there any social cause that you support, or you support all social causes?
Uh, I do support a lot of social causes, but personally, the areas where I work in is in the field of education for children, and I have been contributing and working towards this area for quite some time, especially for higher education, college education. So this is something I've been working on, and even in the past, I've been associated with a lot of social causes. When I was working on clean drinking water for slums, so that is something I physically was working in slums, and then I was working for the cause of solid waste management. You know, uh, and in fact, I was one of the pioneers in India to shoulder the cause of segregation of waste into biodegradable and non-biodegradable. So that was one of the initial projects I took. After that, in Delhi, we saw two types of bins everywhere. So I was one of the pioneers of those projects. So I actually do a lot of social work. I don't really talk about it that much, but now even in my films, I try to pick up as many causes as possible, and a lot of my films focus around women and the issues they face, the mindset they have. In fact, New Haven, one of my um, most successful, I would say, short film, which has won a lot of awards. It focused on existential crisis, especially for middle-aged women, when when they start seeing wrinkles on their face. What is it that they go through? Their self-worth starts taking a hit. So that is a subject I really wanted to talk about, because we as women tend to be very conscious of the way we look,
Yeah,
right? And we
yeah.
tend to attach our self worth with the looks, which is, you know, uh, it is a really, I wouldn't say it shouldn't be, but that's the way it is. And somewhere we have to realize that there is more to life than just looks. And the more, you feel fulfilled from inside, the more you feel happy from inside, it also affects the way you look.
Oh, yeah.
So you might have those wrinkles, it's fine. But if you're happy from inside, you will always glow. That that is something I wanted to give the message through this film. So New Heaven is about that.
No, that's a very strong feminist message. And sorry, I have a lot of planes flying on top of this roof, so I apologize for all the noise pollution.
I can't hear any voice.
I have
It's
the airport pretty close. So yeah, this is an important issue, and coincidentally, one of my very close friends who's watching right now, she and I are actually opening a small live broadcast group, and it's called the Beauty Save, and we wanted to talk about beauty politics, and it's a feminist issue, but I think it's more than that. I think it applies to all life
wonderful.
because you know, there's so much discrimination against looks, whether it's a woman, whether it's an animal, whether it's a child, when it comes to certain looks, that's where the harassment starts. And a lot of it is informed by glamour in celebrity culture. What kind of look should we be supporting? And that informs the star system and what, fans are learning to consume and how to, create that kind of look because it's very standardized, it's constructed, whereas, beauty really comes from within. And the more you have like a very peaceful, healed, aligned life, I mean,
Absolutely.
you're going to be beautiful. I am way more beautiful than I ever considered myself to be. So,
Oh, you're
and I
pretty
took a lot
gorgeous.
of steps.
I don't know why you think that way. You're quite
Well,
gorgeous.
I feel
And
that.
you have a great speed presence as well, by the way. I could make that out from your short film.
Oh, thank you. No, I mean, I guess, like when we grow up, in school or when we're going to college, we have certain learned behaviors, we should act and look in a certain way. And so I just started to detach from that over time. And so I started to lead a very fit, alkaline, plant-based lifestyle, which literally changed my life. So I actually look 10 to 15 years younger, depending on, makeup or no makeup. So that has really helped my filmmaking as well. And this is a message I wanted to share with all filmmakers and actors who are concerned with, age and beauty because it's a huge factor in the entertainment industry. And in order to be ageless and timeless, it's very, very important to, again, carve that everyday lifestyle that enables you to be ageless and timeless and, not worry about anything. So today, the iron pillar strength that I have is just because of, the kind of lifestyle I have. And that's something I didn't have before. So that's my only little regret. I wish I started, having more of uh, a fit, alkaline lifestyle before. But, uh,
Never too late. And some of
Never
the
too late.
most important thing is, whatever you're doing, if you're doing any lifestyle changes, if you want to look younger, everything should come from from a point of you wanting to do something and not the industry wanting you to do that.
Yeah,
There are
exactly.
many actors who get, different surgeries done and everything just because the industry expects them to look a certain way. And that is why I just wanted to give out a very strong message from my first film itself that, I worked with a lady who's in her 50s, and she was the lead protagonist, and the first frame of my film has a close up with all the wrinkles, everything showing. It's okay, it's the story that matters, it's it's fine if the role requires you to be like that, and it is everything. You should do everything for yourself. If you want to look timeless, if want to look ageless, you want to adopt a lifestyle, please go ahead and do that, but don't do that just because others expect you to.
Yeah,
that
I
is
think
that is
that,
something very, very strongly I want to
yeah,
convey.
the industry standards that we have and what institutions tell us, we have a lot of work to get. Thank you so much. No, this is a huge, huge learning experience, I have to say, and I'm glad that you addressed that. And actually, as an actor, I learned how to accept myself even more. Because not that, I was overly critical of myself, but I would only choose to portray parts of myself that would look photogenic. And I am a little bit photogenic, and, I would primarily focus on angles that would, portray the best features of mine. And to be very honest, one of the reasons why I kept doing photography is because I was photogenic, and I wasn't really sure if I was cut out for acting. And I was always interested, but I was like, well, it may or may not show my photogenic, parts. And you have to be very, very vulnerable in acting. And now, I mean, there are times where I just cannot control, like parts of myself that are on camera. And later on, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even expect to see myself this way. And, like I look at myself in the mirror, and we have had a lot of conference talks and seminars and publications on, what beauty means and representations and what kind of expectations we have. And, when I look into the mirror, well, that's what I am looking for, I guess. So I choose to see what I want. But I feel acting really helped perceiving and acting or accepting parts that I never really thought of, So I'm bit of an open, book right now, and like you, I have a long way to go, but really, really, privileged to be able to contribute. I had one last question, and if anybody has any question, please send us. There was one question here. Okay, it's from screenwriter David Sento, and I'm only getting this question right now. Do you have any screenwriting advice?
Sorry, can you
Do
repeat
you
that?
have any screenwriting advice? So this question came in,
Yeah. Okay.
Swati, for you. Do you have
Uh,
any screenwriting advice?
One biggest advice I would say is tell a story that is close to your heart. Rather than thinking and writing a story which you think a filmmaker or a production house might want, you wouldn't do justice to it. Tell something from your experience, something which is a story which basically you want to tell, because the screenwriting also is a very long and lengthy process, and it goes through a lot of drafts, your script, not only at your stage but at various stages of production and finally, directing the film. So if it is a story that you've just written for others, um, it wouldn't, come out well on the screen. So always take a story which you feel very strongly about, and get in your own unique experience, your unique thoughts. Even if you haven't experienced something like, if it's a science fiction film, obviously you wouldn't have experienced that. But it's your imagination, your unique voice, and something you're really, really passionate about. Take that story and tell that.
Okay, and in
And
terms
a
of
great script never comes at the first draft. It's very, very rare that you get a great script. So be
yeah,
open to writing, rewriting, just uh, write as much as you can, and put it away for some time once you've written the first draft.
that's
Then come back to the story again so
yeah.
that you can look at it from the fresh perspective and start rewriting, redoing.
And in terms of support and resources, do you find the writers' room at Stage 32
Yes,
sup- like very supportive?
absolutely. Yeah, writers' room has been very supportive. I've just joined recently only, so so far I've attended a couple of webinars, and the entire vibe. I think everything about Stage 32 is so supportive and so wonderful. It's a great network. I mean, hats off to RB and his team for creating this brilliant, brilliant platform, Stage 32, which is changing everything in the industry. I feel, it's a
Yes.
very positive community. They help each other, they support each other, and the writers' room helps in making your scripts better and helping you out where you get stuck. So I would definitely suggest that
Yes,
it's a great
I'm
platform.
waiting to join, and right now I'm joining as a community thought leader, and I'm starting on September 1st, and I'm
Congratulations to
very,
that.
yeah, thank you. And I'm very honored that I'm able to contribute in that capacity. And a lot will be coming from the perspectives of celebrity culture that we study and situating actors, directors, writers in relation to that, celebrity culture. Like, what are the challenges? What are the rewards? How to use media? I mean, media is a huge component. And that was one of my last questions to you, Swati. How do you do media and public relations in celebrity culture? That's such a contested area. How do you reach out?
Um, you're right. It's a little difficult in the celebrity culture because the entire media tends to focus on the celebrities, and it's a little difficult in terms of finding your way out. But there are a lot of avenues. Film festivals are a great platform.
Yes,
They just celebrate the independent filmmakers and independent artists. So film festivals, and they do give a lot of media coverage, and they make you feel special. So film festivals are definitely great. Apart from that, I think as an independent filmmaker, you have to do a lot of marketing and advertising yourself, because initially, you wouldn't have budgets to hire big PR companies for that. So that is so. What helps is find uh, good, niche platforms which you think would work for your films, and try to get your films over there. Like, I would say, if you've made a short film, there are a couple of really good platforms like Watch Argo, and which are dedicated for short films. In India, you have Pocket Films, and there are a lot of good such good platforms where you can send your short films and get them uh, marketed. So look for those niche platforms depending on the kind of content you have created. So that really helps.
yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And this is a topic that's very close to our hearts. So all those who are watching or are going to catch us later on, please do keep an eye out on how to do media relations in celebrity culture. If you are a writer, researcher, you are a filmmaker, actor, media is very important. How do you do that? And part of the larger public relations also has to do with public speaking. So those who notice our regular stories and posts, you will see that we're engaged in a lot of public speaking. There are some excellent public speaking groups where you could actually learn how to pitch, how to structure stories. Public speaking is a great way to position yourself as an expert and share the greatness that you have. And right now, we're with Elliot and Jose show on the Clubhouse. So anybody who is listening to us can just join us there. So I'm one of the main moderators there. I'm very blessed to be able to do that. And
Clubhouse is definitely wonderful. Um, the kind of conversations that happen there. That reminds me, I have to take details for your Clubhouse
oh
group
yes,
and
yes.
join that. There's some, I
Yeah,
think there's one more question. I think we can go through that. Can you see in the chat? There's one more as well.
there was that one question that came in. It
I
was from
think that there's
Swati.
one
I don't
for
see any
getting
question.
funding for you. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of great platforms, a lot of great tools. So I'm just gonna leave everybody with Stage 32. Join us there. It's a great platform from Hollywood, all over the world, where people could access all tools, resources, webinars on a daily basis, connect. It's a very democratic tool in the entertainment industry. And it's not just in Hollywood, it's all around the world. And also, if anybody is interested to learn public speaking, as I said, I'm one of the moderators on behalf of the Center for Media and Celebrity Studies. I'm moderating every single day. So if you want to join us, you want to learn public speaking, how to structure your story, then that's a great space to be in. And just keep checking all the updates and posts, and definitely join us to celebrate all the publications and films that we're doing. They are very, very important. Any final message that you would have, Swati? Final message, idea, question, suggestion, anything before we leave?
I think, Samita, I think there are a couple of questions. Let's just take that and then we can close off. So there
Sure.
was one on how to get funding for your films, especially if you're an independent filmmaker and have no contact in the industry. So I would suggest when you're starting off, it's especially if it is your first, say, short film or even a feature. It I'll be honest, it's a little difficult to get funding, especially for your debut feature. So what you can do is you can go for some crowdfunding platforms. You have Wishberry or Kickstarter. These are some really good crowdfunding platforms. You can go for them. What you have to do is you have to share your script idea, your script and plan and your budgeting, and then you can kickstart your campaign on one of these platforms. Otherwise, what you can do is the way I started, try to keep it as low budget as possible. And I didn't really approach anyone. I started producing my short films on my own. uh, I just kept the costs as low as possible, so took friends got them to act for me, even the cinematographer, and got somehow pulled off strings to get real locations to shoot on. So as an Indian filmmaker, you have to do a lot of these things to get your projects going initially. Because if you keep waiting for funding, you can keep waiting for a really long time. So just try and get those films together initially, and once you have some experience, I think then it's easier to get funding, and you also have a lot of organizations giving grants. And again, those organizations would also expect you to have made something so that they can trust you and give you those grants. So it's always better to have a few, at least a few short films together, maybe on low budget, maybe on zero budget. People do make films even on their iPhone or any other smartphone. People have done that. And
That's a
there was
great
one case
point.
study, one lady won a BAFTA for a film made on iPhone. So there are a lot of such examples where people have. And to quote Tarantino here, so he said that making a feature film without budget is the best film school you can ever go to. So
Wow.
yeah, that's Quentin Tarantino. I'm a strong proponent of that approach. Try to keep your costs low, and yeah, initially you have to find out ways, right? If you don't have funds, you find innovative ways, and
Yes, yes,
once you make
yes.
some content, you'll get funds.
And right now, gotta check the time. There is a film funding webinar going on.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
think
That's what we do, right? It was just about to start. I think it just
okay,
started, yeah. 8:32,
yeah,
and it's
it's
free.
gonna be
It's a free
available
webinar.
later on. So anybody who still wants to register and
You can just
join,
quickly jump onto stage 32 and find that film funding webinar over there. So, stage 32, as we said, it's a great platform. There are 8 lakh creators across the world on that platform, and there are a lot of resources. There are a lot of webinars. Um, Possibly every answer to your any question you can think of, you'll find it over there. So just become a free member today. Register. It's free registration.
register
And
now and see if you could join the film funding webinar that's going to start in a couple of minutes. It's available for another 1 year. So anybody who joins these webinars, they could access later on. It's available for another year. So that's the good news.
there was
Um,
one more question, I think. Yeah, it's from Himanshu. Okay. Thanks, Himanshu, for the question. Um, it was okay. What is my next project on? What am I working on? It is a mix of spirituality and science fiction. I can't really reveal much details at the moment. It is, yeah, it is several of these areas combined together. I plan to include a lot of concepts from, uh, you know, the realm of afterlife and past life and everything, and mix it with science fiction. So
that
that's
sounds
a
like
really
a
interesting
sequel
project I'm
of
working
my previous film, which I'm
on.
going to share with
Yes,
everybody
yes,
after
yes. I was like, okay, this is quite, you know, though the story is entirely different from yours, but yeah, you also made something on those lines, science fiction and spirituality. It's interesting, right? Interesting subject to work on.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, I can't wait to share. So hopefully by October there's going to be a start of the screenings, and will be very very exciting. We'll have some local screenings, and we're going to have online international screenings. So anybody who's watching us, just stay a little bit patient. We're going to be back with a lot of news. And any question you have, Swati, from your end, because I'm not seeing the questions. I think they're coming on your Instagram.
They're coming in the chat. They're not coming on the
Oh,
question. I
okay.
cannot see from question now. I was
Oh,
just looking at the chat and scrolling that.
okay. Very important question. So if anybody has any question later on, they could always share at any point, and keep in touch, stay connected. I can't believe how time flew. This was very, very special, and I was counting down, and I'm sure we're going to keep the dialogues going.
Absolutely, Samantha. It was wonderful. Thanks for inviting me, and thanks for everyone who joined in. It was a great session. I totally loved the conversation.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah, it was very, very informative. A lot of resources, platforms, ideas, and the most important thing is inspiration. And you're doing such amazing international independent filmmaking, and so much more you're going to be doing. And hopefully, I'll be meeting you in person one day in Delhi or in Bombay. Let's see.
And
My work goes around, so let's see where all of that takes me to next.
sure, see you soon.
See you soon. So we'll be signing off, and thanks everybody for joining us.
Thank
And
you.
stay in touch, and do follow Swati, and tag us if you have any good news. We're always happy to hear from everybody. So on behalf of the Center for Media and Celebrity Studies, I'm going to sign off right now, and wish good night to Swati, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'll take a couple of seconds to sign off. It's always the hard part. I hate to say goodbye, but we're going to be in touch.
Definitely, we'll be in touch.